What's up, guys? So today I've got a slightly different video for you all. We are going to be checking out the iPhone X. Now, I realize that I'm not a tech review channel. There are plenty of great YouTube channels out there that go down into the nitty-gritty specifics, the specs of the phone, all kinds of stuff like that. That's not what I'm going to be doing in this video. This is going to be kind of like a high-level unboxing and my first thoughts and impressions on this phone, because a lot of you guys have been asking for it. I just got this thing yesterday, and so many people have been hitting me up on Twitter being like, yo, do an unboxing, that sort of thing. I've done this a couple times in the past with other new phones I've gotten, and those were well-received videos. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I don't know, man, I'm excited. I'm upgrading to this from the 6S Plus, so it's been a couple of years since I had a new phone, and I've been super happy with it for the past like 36 hours or so. Now, I do realize there are gonna be a lot of Android fans out there, and Android make great phones. I'm not gonna lie. Definitely ahead of Apple in pretty much every single standard. I mean, their cameras are better at this point. They've had wireless charging for a couple of years now. They've had the water resistance and waterproofing for a couple of years now. Apple is just finally starting to catch up. So Androids are fantastic. If you prefer Androids, by all means, continue preferring Androids. I like to have an iPhone just because I like iOS a lot. I'm really used to it. I've been using it for years and I just kind of prefer that software. I also edit a lot on my MacBook for like the vlog footage and stuff. So being able to transfer footage in between my phone and my computer seamlessly with like AirDrop and stuff like that is really good. Not to mention, a lot of people that I know and talk to have iPhones, so I can use iMessage. So like when I'm in an airplane and I'm on Wi-Fi, I can still text people. I realize there are apps for that, but I just prefer iOS as a whole for me personally and my lifestyle. So that's why I like iPhones. I realize that they are a little bit behind in terms of all the tech and features and stuff, but I just like them. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this box here. Open this thing up, and I've already unboxed it, and like I already took the plastic off the phone because I've been using it for the past 36 hours, but I still want to show you guys what it looks like when you unbox it. So you've got this little pamphlet thing here that has like the instruction manual and stuff. And then you are greeted by the phone, which is absolutely beautiful. We're gonna go into that in a second. And then underneath, obviously, you've got the speakers or the headphones, you've got the charging brick, and then you've got the charging cable back behind. So that's everything that's in the box. Now, let's get into this phone. This is easily the most beautiful iPhone that Apple has ever made. You guys can see, I got the space gray. Sorry about the fingerprints here. But I got the space gray, which means that you have the screen on front, obviously. You have the darker bezel around the outside, and then you have the grayish black back. You can also get silver, which is kind of a lighter silverish white color, and then the bezel on the outside is going to be a little bit whiter shade. But I just prefer the all black look. I think it looks fantastic. Now, the back is also all glass, which makes it look so clean. Looks super, super nice. It is a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but it looks very, very nice. But that also makes it way more expensive. So if you want to have this thing replaced by Apple, like let's say you drop it and crack the back glass of the phone, I think it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $570, which is like half the price of the phone. So I wouldn't go dropping this thing. It's very, very expensive to replace. Or if you do end up getting one, I would get Apple Care, because Apple Care completely cuts that price down by a lot. I think the front screen is like $270 to replace. With Apple Care, it's only $30, and the back screen is $570. Apple Care is only like $200 or something like that. Still very expensive. You don't want to drop this thing. So I've got it unlocked now. It looks like somebody was trying to hop in my Instagram DMs. Oh no, it's just Ray. Ray posted a new photo. Aw, that's awesome. Thank you to my dad. You're the man. Heck yeah, he's gonna be racing at Homestead, Miami this week, and I'm gonna be going down to that race if any of you guys are gonna be there. Anyway, this is the brand new display this year, and it is absolutely fantastic. 2 thumbs up if I can fit those in there. So obviously every year the displays are gonna get better and better, but this year was a huge jump because this is the first ever OLED display in an Apple phone. Now this is another thing where, yes, I know Apple is a little bit behind on this. Android has been rocking those for quite a long time now, but it looks so nice. You guys can see the colors just pop. It's so crisp. Watching video, looking at photos, anything like that just looks so good on this thing. And not to mention, it's got that edge-to-edge screen. Finally, I love it. It's got the rounded corners, which are kind of cool, kind of unique for an iPhone. The only thing that it's missing is this top bezel. I wish that was gone, but to be honest, it's not as big of a deal as I thought it was going to be. Obviously, when this thing was first announced and all the reviews came out and stuff like that, everybody was talking about this top bezel, but I don't ever really notice it when I'm using it. Like, I've kind of gotten used to it now. I just expect it to be there. A lot of the apps, the big name apps at least right now, are kind of optimized for it, so they'll take advantage of that up there. Some of the smaller apps aren't quite ready for it yet. So for example, like this YouTube Studio, you guys can see this just has the plain square, like if you're on any other iPhone, and then it's got black bars at the top and bottom. So I expect that most of the apps out there will be optimized for it eventually, but it's not something that I'm too worried about at this point in time. I don't mind the bezel. It's nice to have your little clock and everything else nestled up in there. It would be better to have it gone, but it's not a game breaker for me. Now, we're going to talk about Face ID. So this is something that I kind of disagree with Casey on. If you guys saw his video, he thought that it was a little slow. I don't think so. I think it works flawlessly when it works. Now, it's not quite as consistent as Touch ID, but it's very, very close. I've had it fail like maybe once or twice during the last 36 hours, and it's just super, super convenient. Like, if I could choose between a Face ID that worked 100% of the time or a Touch ID that worked 100% of the time, I'd choose Face ID all day. And they both have their little qualms. Like Touch ID you can't use if you have gloves on or if your fingers are wet. Face ID, obviously you can't use if you've got sunglasses on. So, you know, there are pros and cons of each one, but I think it's super, super quick. So I'm gonna demo it right here for you guys. So I'm sure most of you guys know this, but since there's no home button on the iPhone X, the way that you go home is just by swiping up from the bottom of the screen. So I'm just gonna pull my phone up, swipe up from the bottom of the screen, and we'll see how well this works. Here we go. You ready, guys? Pull it up, swipe up, look at that. Literally, it had Face ID'd me before the time that it took to swipe up. We're gonna do it again. Make sure it's off. Pull it up, swipe up. That one was like less than half a second more. We're gonna do it one more time. It's off, pull it up, swipe up. Look at that. It literally, it's Face IDing me before I even have the chance to swipe up. So like, if you had notifications or something like that, you'd have to swipe right and press open. It works before you're even ready for it to work. It is so fast. It is so convenient. Like I said, I wish it worked through sunglasses. Sometimes if it's super, super bright outside, because it uses infrared rays, and obviously infrared rays come from the sun. If you're like looking directly in the sun and you try to use it, it doesn't really work in that sort of a situation. But for the most part, 94 7/10% of the time, it works flawlessly. Now, speaking of that home button gesture, that's the biggest learning curve to this phone, is learning not to use the home button. Obviously, iPhones have had a home button for how long now? It's kind of weird at first, but seriously, it took me like an hour to get used to. So pretty much any app that you're in, if you want to go back home, you just swipe up from the bottom. You guys can see they even have a little bar here to kind of represent a home button in a sense, but you just swipe up and you're back home. It's really nice in that sense. Now, if you want to go to your multitasking or like go through multiple apps, what you do is you swipe up and to the right. So you can swipe up and hold, but that's a little bit slow. If you swipe up and to the right, it takes you here, and then you can scroll through your multitasking apps. If you want to close them, you have to press and hold, and then it creates this little kind of like exit symbol up on the top left. Now at first I thought this was stupid because I was used to like, you know, just swiping up to get rid of these, but this is actually way nicer because you just tap really, really fast and you can close all of your apps to help out with your battery life, that sort of thing. So that's really, really nice. Also, of course, you swipe down for your notifications. I don't have any right now. I don't have any friends. And then finally, you swipe down from the top right to bring up your control panel where you have all sorts of features and options in here. So super, super simple. There is a little bit of a learning curve, but like I said, within an hour or two, I did not miss the home button at all. And I kind of find myself moving around a little bit quicker because all it is just swiping. You don't actually have to stop to press or double press or anything like that. So I think it's a good improvement. And now for some final thoughts on some of the other features. The camera is absolutely incredible. I love it. Now, again, I am upgrading from a 6S Plus, so this is a big jump for me, whereas if you have a 7 or an 8, it's not gonna be quite as big of a jump, but it's absolutely fantastic. It's definitely one of the best smartphone cameras right now. It's not the best. I believe that belongs to the Pixel 2, but it's fantastic. It works really, really well. Image stabilization in both of the rear-facing cameras, 4K video, super high frame rate for super slow-mo, portrait mode, front and back. It's just absolutely incredible. I love the camera, and as a YouTuber and somebody who's always on social media, always recording videos and taking photos, it was an absolute must, and that's the one reason why I wanted to upgrade to this thing. Another little feature that I was not expecting to be better is the speakers. So the speakers on my 6S Plus weren't really that great. This one, they're fantastic. I think the difference is they're at the top and the bottom now. Is that what it is? I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not a super, specifics guy, but they are way louder. I would say at least 50% louder than my previous phone. So that's really nice for like listening to music in the shower and stuff like that. It's way, way, way better. And then finally, last but not least, the most not new feature of the iPhone X that's actually really new and really exciting for iPhone people is wireless charging. So I have a Mophie wireless charger right here. I think this thing was like 60 bucks. And if I take my phone and I just put the back to it, even if I have a case on, you guys can see I've got a leather case on right here. I don't think it works with metal cases, but if you just tap it to this, take a look at that. We're now charging. It is so nice. It is so convenient. Android is so ahead and they've had this forever, but it is seriously really, really nice. Take it off, not charging. Put it on, charging. It's absolutely insane and I love it so much. I'm gonna have to get a second one. I want one up by my bedside and on my office desk. And then that way when I wanna charge my phone, I just set it down. Easy peasy, don't have to worry about like pulling a cord out and plugging it in and stuff. It saves you seconds. It's really not that big of a deal, but it is so convenient. I love it. Not to mention that if you upgrade to iOS 11.2, this thing actually has the fast charging capability. So you can charge at 7.5 watts, which is way faster than normal. It's not the fastest in the world. I think Samsung is doing like 15 now, so they're literally double. But it's still really, really cool. So there you guys have it. That is my little first impression unboxing review video of the iPhone X. I really, really enjoy it. But again, I like Apple products. I feel like there are a lot of things in this video. I want to be real with you guys. Android has had this stuff for a very long time, but it's nice to see Apple finally getting some new tech. And I'm a fan of this phone. It is very expensive. I'm not gonna lie. You guys know it starts at $1,000. So a lot of people are not really okay with that, and I agree. I think phones should be cheaper, and I'm sure something like this is gonna be cheaper next year. They're gonna have a second installment that's gonna be probably a little bit better and a little bit cheaper. But for now, I'm very, very happy with my purchase, and I wanted to give you guys a little first impression. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace out.